A collar that tracks your dog's every move, monitors their heart rate, and alerts you to health problems before you even notice them. Sounds amazing, right? Companies are charging up to $300 for these devices and promising they'll revolutionize pet care. But here's the question nobody's asking. Do these smart collars actually improve your pet's health? Or are they just expensive anxiety generators that benefit tech companies more than your dog or cat? Today, I'm breaking down the truth about smart collars, what they actually do, whether the data means anything, and if they're worth your money. Let's get into it. What are smart collars? First, let's talk about what these devices actually are and what they claim to do. Smart collars are wearable technology for pets, similar to a Fitbit or Apple Watch for humans. They attach to your pet's collar and use sensors to track various metrics throughout the day. Most smart collars track activity levels, meaning steps, distance traveled, and active versus rest time. Many also track location using GPS, so you can find your pet if they get lost. Some of the more advanced models monitor heart rate, respiratory rate, sleep quality, and even scratching or licking behaviors. All this data gets sent to an app on your phone, where you can see charts, trends, and get alerts if something seems abnormal. Some collars use AI to establish your pet's baseline and notify you of deviations that might indicate health problems. The pitch is compelling. Early detection of health issues, peace of mind about your pet's activity levels, and the ability to find them if they escape. Companies market these as essential tools for responsible pet ownership. Prices range from about $100 for basic activity trackers to over $300 for comprehensive health monitoring devices. Most also require monthly subscriptions for GPS and advanced features, adding another $10 to $20 per month. So you're looking at a significant investment. The question is whether that investment actually delivers meaningful benefits. The potential benefits. Let's start with the positive side. There are legitimate use cases where smart collars provide real value. GPS tracking is probably the most straightforward benefit. If your dog is an escape artist or you have outdoor cats, knowing their location provides genuine peace of mind. Being able to track them in real time if they get lost could literally save their life. This feature alone might justify the cost for some people, particularly if you live near busy roads or have a dog with a history of running off. It's essentially insurance against losing your pet. Activity tracking can be useful for weight management and exercise accountability. If your vet recommends increasing your dog's activity level, having objective data about how much they're actually moving can be helpful. You'll know if you're meeting exercise goals or just assuming you are. For people with multiple pets, activity tracking can help identify which dog or cat is less active than normal, which might otherwise go unnoticed in a busy household. Some collars track scratching and licking behaviors, which can be early indicators of allergies, skin conditions, or anxiety. Catching these patterns before they become severe problems has potential value. The sleep tracking feature might identify sleep disturbances that indicate pain, anxiety, or other health issues. Changes in sleep patterns can be subtle but significant. And here's something that matters. Having data can improve communication with your veterinarian. Instead of saying, "My dog seems less active," you can say, "My dog's activity has decreased by 30% over the past 2 weeks." That's more actionable information. So yes, there are legitimate benefits. The question is whether these benefits justify the cost and whether the data is actually reliable enough to make decisions with. The problems and limitations. Now let's talk about the significant problems with smart collars that companies don't advertise. First, accuracy is questionable. These devices aren't medical-grade equipment. Studies comparing smart collar data to actual veterinary monitoring equipment show significant discrepancies, particularly with heart rate and respiratory rate measurements. The sensors can be thrown off by movement, collar position, coat thickness, and even the pet's size. A reading that says your dog's heart rate is elevated might be accurate, or it might be because the collar shifted during play. This creates a serious problem: false alarms. You get an alert that something's wrong, you panic, you rush to the vet, and everything's fine. This happens frequently enough that it's a legitimate concern. On the flip side, false negatives are also possible. The collar might miss actual problems if the sensors aren't positioned correctly, or if the algorithms don't flag the issue as abnormal. Second issue, data overload without context. These apps generate tons of charts and numbers, but most pet owners don't know what they mean. Is 15,000 steps good for my dog? What's a normal resting heart rate? When should I actually be concerned? Without veterinary expertise to interpret the data, you're just looking at numbers that may or may not mean anything. This can create anxiety rather than reassurance. Third, the subscription model is problematic. You've already paid hundreds of dollars for the device, and now you need to pay monthly fees forever to access the features you bought the collar for. If you stop paying, much of the functionality disappears. Fourth, battery life and durability. These collars need regular charging, often every few days. If you forget to charge it, you've got an expensive paperweight. And they're not always as waterproof or durable as advertised. Fifth, and this is important, smart collars can create a false sense of security. You might rely on the collar to tell you if something's wrong, instead of actually observing your pet's behavior yourself. Technology should supplement observation, not replace it. What vets actually think. Let's talk about what veterinarians think about these devices, because their perspective matters. Most veterinarians are skeptical but not entirely dismissive. They see the potential value of activity tracking for obese pets and GPS for animals prone to escaping. However, they are concerned about the accuracy of the health monitoring features. These devices are not diagnostic tools. They can identify patterns worth investigating, but they cannot diagnose heart disease, respiratory problems, or other medical conditions. Only proper veterinary examinations and tests can do that. Veterinarians worry that pet owners will either overreact to normal variations or underreact to serious symptoms because the collar doesn't alert them. Both scenarios are problematic. It's also concerning that some companies are making medical claims that aren't supported by evidence. To say a collar can detect cancer or predict seizures without rigorous clinical validation is irresponsible. The general consensus is that smart collars are tools, not replacements, for veterinary care and pet owner observation. When used appropriately, they can provide useful additional information. However, they can be misleading when used as a primary health monitoring tool. If you're going to spend $300 on pet health, it might be a far better option to spend that money on annual blood tests, teeth cleanings, or an emergency fund for unexpected vet bills. A comprehensive senior animal health panel costs roughly the same as a high-quality smart collar and provides far more reliable health information. Who should consider smart collars? So, who actually benefits from these devices? Let me break down scenarios where smart collars make sense. If you have an escape artist, dog, or outdoor cats, GPS tracking provides real value. The peace of mind and ability to locate them quickly justifies the investment. For this use case alone, smart collars can be worth it. If your pet is recovering from injury or surgery, and you need to monitor activity levels during rehabilitation, a smart collar can help ensure they're resting appropriately without overdoing or underdoing activity. If you have a pet with a diagnosed condition that requires activity monitoring, such as heart disease or arthritis, and your vet recommends tracking their exercise, a smart collar can provide objective data to guide treatment. If you have multiple pets and struggle to notice individual behavior changes, activity tracking can help identify which animal might be having issues. If you're a data-driven person who will actually use the information productively rather than obsessively, and you understand the limitations of the technology, a smart collar can be a useful tool. But here's who shouldn't bother. People expecting the collar to replace veterinary care, people who will panic at every alert, people on tight budgets where the money would be better spent elsewhere, and people who think the collar will magically keep their pet healthy. Also, if you're already observant and your pet is healthy with no escape tendencies, you probably don't need one. Your money is better spent on quality food, preventive vet care, and enrichment. So, what's my verdict? Are smart collars worth it, or just expensive tech toys? The answer is, it depends on your specific situation and expectations. For GPS tracking, they're legitimately useful for the right pets. For comprehensive health monitoring, they're oversold. The technology isn't accurate enough to replace observation and veterinary care, and the data often creates more confusion than clarity. If you're considering a smart collar, be honest about why you want it. If it's for GPS and basic activity tracking, and you understand the limitations, go for it. If you're expecting it to detect diseases or replace vet visits, save your money. Think of smart collars like fitness trackers for humans. They're fun, they provide interesting data, and they might motivate behavior changes. But they're not medical devices and shouldn't be treated as such. The pet tech industry is growing fast, and these products will improve over time. But right now, they're supplementary tools at best, not revolutionary health monitoring systems. Here's the bottom line. No collar, smart or otherwise, replaces being an engaged, observant pet owner and having regular veterinary care. If a smart collar helps you be more active with your dog or gives you peace of mind about their location, that's valuable. But don't let technology replace your relationship with your pet or your vet. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you want more honest takes on pet products and health topics. Drop a comment and tell me, do you use a smart collar? Has it been worth it? Or do you think they're overhyped? I want to hear real experiences from real owners. And remember, the best technology for your pet's health is still regular vet visits, proper nutrition, exercise, and you paying attention. No app can replace that. See you in the next video. Bye.